When I was starting out solo on a big ADV bike, there was a certain level of anxiety about getting caught out in a remote area, whether it be on steep loose hills or in a wet boggy valley. Being solo in areas without people or mobile reception, it's hard to commit to some routes when you get there to the steep hill or a long bog hole and see something that sets off your alarm bells and has you turning around. It's a defeating feeling, and when alone, turning around is probably your best bet. I've decided to put together this series to show the terrain, challenges and conditions of the trails at the time of publishing. A sort of guide to help others riders figure out whether they want to tackle a certain road or trail solo, and help alleviate some of the doubt involved with the mind's perception of the unknown, challenging their riding skills in new terrain on a big bike. At the end of the day, the safest way to attempt these routes is with a group, and always carrying some snacks, water, tools, first aid kit and some form of satellite communication on your person. There is no implied responsibility taken with this information. Motorcycling in any environment is a dangerous activity to be partaken in at your own risk. So sit back and enjoy as I show a particular dirt road or trail in its entirety that I've ridden lately. And I'll go through a short rundown at the end of the video pointing out conditions and challenges to look out for, rate each section on difficulty for myself as an average rider, and ultimately answer the question, is this route big bike friendly? Really should have hit first there, but a bit of modulation of the clutch. An arm pump already. closed? Since when? was immense today. Bump. Can't even see where the track goes. Old Burrier Firetrail is probably one of my favourite places to ride around home due to its challenging terrain and technical nature. This area can see plenty of traffic from non-off-road experienced drivers heading out to Cruisin campground, towing trailers and caravans, so caution must be taken to avoid getting hit on the narrow access road that Old Burrier Firetrail turns off. The Firetrail itself sees the odd enduro bike and 4x4 heading up to the lookout at Mackenzie's Saddle. This Firetrail looks like it can handle wet weather well, as it has a rocky base with a loose marble surface. There are several sections of soft sand and a few bog holes at the southern end that have been recently repaired, though prior to that the last section was so boggy that there was a 150 metre long chicken truck to the side of the trail. That was the only way through after wet weather on a motorcycle. Top of bog hole that could see a pair of four-wheel drives winching each other out of trouble for a good hour. In the southbound direction, the trail kicks off with a 2 kilometre long hill climb with ruts, marbles and many erosion mounds. If you are not comfortable with hill climbs, this trail may be a bit intimidating. There are several sections of the trail with a substantial drop off at the edge of the hill climb section as it runs along the ridge line up onto the plateau. There are a few steep downhill sections with loose gravel and erosion mounds that could send you into orbit if you don't regulate your speed. In a northbound run, you need to be very comfortable on steep downhills with corners, loose marbles and drop-offs to the sides. The steep northern section has gates at either end and may be closed due to track damage at times of heavy rain and bad weather. Just be aware that on the southern section where the trail flattens out some nice straight fast sections, there are some sneaky hard to see erosion mounds that may catch you out when bombing through there after completing the slower technical sections. This trail is fairly easy once you've become used to its challenges and maybe a 3 out of 5 on the scale of the hardest places I've ridden. Personally, I think this trail is big bike friendly for intermediate to advanced riders who are comfortable with traversing steep, loose, rocky terrain on a big bike. Best to take it slow until you are familiar with the route. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you on the next one. Cheers.